Welcome to the Verdin Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin. I hope y'all all had a very good weekend. Super Bowl Sunday wrapped up. LSU continued their streak of having an alumni on the roster, 25 years running at this point. Anthony Bradford, of course, congratulations, Super Bowl champion. The Seahawks win. Interesting game. The beginning, first half, kind of looks like a runaway. Looks like the Patriots can't do anything. They kind of get it together in the second half. We'll be breaking down all of that. We'll be talking about the Will Campbell situation, the Seahawks defense overall, LSU basketball, Tyler Shuck, the Mardi Gras King, and a few more topics throughout the stream. As per usual, hit that thumbs up, drop any comments, questions, concerns, anything you want to address during the live. I'll be peeping and reacting. Anthony Bradford. So obviously, our guy wins the Super Bowl, LSU Tiger. Not only is he a Super Bowl champion, he is a national champion as well. 2019 Natty run with LSU. He was on the roster, so he's one of the very, very select few professional football athletes that can have bragging rights in both of those regards. He's got 2 rings, 2 of the biggest rings you can get. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, NFL LSU Super Bowl streak lives on 25 years in a row ever since the Patriots won in 2002. Shout out to Pats. Kevin Folk was on the roster as a running back, got a ring. Since then, it has been the longest active streak in college football. It's just different, bro. That's what Lane Kiffin says. There's not many schools or programs that can have an argument in almost every single facet, whether it be top players, players on a roster, quarterbacks in a damn Super Bowl with 7 in the history of Louisiana sports in general. I mean, there's a lot of things you can take away from it here in terms of the performance and the talent. But the number one thing I'm going to take away is Louisiana is a hotbed for recruiting talent. Now, let's talk about one of our Louisiana natives that's getting drugged through the mud a little bit. Our guy, Will Campbell. Football ain't easy, people. It ain't easy, especially when you're a rookie. You know, not many jobs in general in life. Let's just keep it generally speaking. There's not many times you see a young person get thrown into their career or into the work field and hit the ground running. You're going to have a learning curve. You're going to have moments where someone knocks you on your ass. The most important thing is going to be, obviously, can you get back up? Obviously, I think Will Campbell will be able to get back up. It's just the thought that in this game, he allowed the most pressures in a playoff game since 2018. He gave up 14 pressures, and people have been sounding off, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Everybody has an opinion on Big Will Campbell. Here's my opinion on it. There's not a damn offensive lineman in the league that would be 100% successful versus that Seattle Seahawks defense. It's one of the best defenses I've seen in the NFL. It's not only a defense that throughout the regular season you rarely saw blitz, but they turned Drake May into damn near running back last night with how bad he was having to get out of the pocket and roll around. And inevitably they wound up sacking him 6 times, hitting him 11 times. They had 6 pass deflections, 3 turnovers all in all. One of them was a fumble that they brought right back for a touchdown. There was a lot of moments where the defense just had the Patriots' number. And it's not to say that Will Campbell was the Achilles heel of the entire team, as much as it is the Seahawks just had a better unit. Their front was better than the Patriots' front. And it's across the board because even if you look at the left guard right next to Will Campbell, he allowed a sack. He got pushed back into Drake May. It's not just 66 getting pushed around here in this Super Bowl. But not to mention the biggest thing of it all is he's a damn rookie. This is your first year, and you get put in the biggest game possible. The most pressure, the most spotlight. There's 2 weeks to prepare. And if you think for 1 second that during those 2 weeks, they didn't ultimately break down the footage of the entire offensive line and find mismatches and find areas where they can poke holes and get to the quarterback, you're mistaken. You got 14 days to prepare for this. So naturally, it's going to be one of the toughest matchups, at least for an offensive lineman, that I can predict. Now, another thing you want to talk about is the MCL, the sprain, the injury. Is he 100%? Obviously, he went down at the end of the year. He was able to come back and return for postseason play. I think he came back week 18, very final week of the regular season. Regardless, he's playing a little bit slowed down. Not to make excuses, just to say it's not a situation where I am going to ultimately question the talent that Will Campbell has. I'm not going to sit here and put an overrated bill on him. And I know there's a lot of narratives going into the draft surrounding Will Campbell, the biggest one being his arm measurements. How long are your arms? Are you going to be able to extend? Are you going to be able to stop the edges from getting around you at really the most pivotal part of the offensive line, your blind side tackle. Tackles have to be athletic. They have to be very explosive. They have to stop some of the fastest people that are running on that defense. It's your TJ Watts, your Max Crosbys, all these pieces, your Myles Garretts. That's who this man is going to be put up against. So naturally, the mistakes that he makes, I think, they just shine a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? If a wide receiver drops a pass, yeah, you remember it, but you don't remember it as much as when an offensive lineman lets a sack through that creates a damn fumble for 6. I mean, there's just a bigger chance for them to have impacting play. If their mistakes are way, way more magnified. If it's just my opinion on it. Now, I'm not trying to advocate for him saying he played great. He didn't play great. You know, you can't sit here and say that. It's just more so to say, I think that it gets better from this. I think that he will get better from this. I think going forward, every now and then, football players, basketball players, baseball players, doesn't matter who it is, they have to eat a little bit of shit. They have to fall flat sometimes. It's sports. It's competition. Not everything is a fairy tale. Not everybody's going to be able to win and have a storybook ending to their season. Sometimes it's going to be a nightmare. But you can use that nightmare to fuel you for the next year, in my opinion. And I think that's what Will Campbell and this Patriots team will do. So if you want to dive deep into the Seahawks, like I said, 6 sacks, 11 quarterback hits, 6 pass deflections. That's complimentary football in and of itself. It's hard to beat. And then this is a next-gen stat for you. Shout out Cole Kublik for this tweet. The Seahawks only trailed 1 minute and 35 seconds the entire postseason. Please listen to me and listen to me closely. The Seahawks were only down. They were only losing in the playoffs for 1 minute and 35 seconds. There wasn't even multiple minutes that the Seahawks didn't have a game in control. Hat tip. Very interesting statistic as well. Not a statistic, but a little nod, if you will. The offensive coordinator for the Seahawks, Clint Kubiak. Yes, he's on the move to the Raiders. He confirmed it during the celebration on the field afterwards. But I want to remind everybody, that's the former offensive coordinator for the Saints. During that last dance with old Derek Carr, that was the guy. That was the guy. Mr. Kubiak. It's interesting, too, because Shaheed is on the Seahawks, too. If you would have told Saints fans, let's just say 2 years ago, hey, you see Rashid Shaheed? See Clint Kubiak? They're going to win a Super Bowl in 2 years. Saints fans would start having a heart attack. Heart fluttering. Oh, my God. Saints are winning the Super Bowl. Oh, my God. Flash forward. Both of them move on to the Seahawks. Both of them hoisted a Lombardi trophy. And now Kubiak is on the run to go see Geno Smith, Ashton Genty, our guy Bobby, Brock Bowers, all kind of people over there in Las Vegas. He's got a decent little squad to be able to run with. Doesn't have that defense, though. Doesn't have that defense. Seahawks defense is very, very accomplished. What they were able to do this year, impressive. Defense obviously wins championships. And I mean, when they're getting to the quarterback that often, it's hard to create success on the other side. I want to say one more thing. Sam Darnold. He got his flowers, man. He got his flowers. Here's another statistic that might turn some gears in your head a little bit. Sam Darnold, has won a Super Bowl before every quarterback in his draft class. If you want a refresher on who those quarterbacks are, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield. It's an interesting one. If I would have sat here and told you years ago, hey, Sam Darnold, the guy that was on the Jets. Yes, that's right. Those Jets. That's Sam Darnold. The one that inevitably moved around, went to the Panthers, went to the Niners, and then now, well, he went to the Vikings too, but he ends up in Seattle. 2 great seasons in a row. 4,000 plus passing yards, 25 plus touchdowns. You win the damn Super Bowl, and you get that off your back. It's a great story. And unfortunately, it makes me feel like Josh Allen ain't catching a damn break now. Now you're really getting no slack, Josh. I'm sorry. This year was statistically your best chance yet to win the Super Bowl. You can't get it done. It's a skeleton in your closet that you're going to have to address here at some point. But shout out Sam Darnold. Shout out Anthony Bradford. For the last time, give our guy Will Campbell some grace, man. Come on. Talk about LSU basketball. Women's team wins, men's team loses. Can't keep the weekend streak going. Last week, we got 2 victories on the weekend, and you can walk out and be proud a little bit. This weekend, men's team does not get it done. Women's team, though, they get a good bounce back, 30-plus point win, 77-44 in Auburn. Great defense. Auburn shot 25% from the field, 14% from three. I'm sorry. Can I say that one more time? Auburn shot 14% from three. Have you ever heard of a red light? There's times in the game, and I know y'all are down big, so you're looking for big swings and big points, but sometimes you just got to see the ball go through the net. If you're bricking, and it's like a damn, I don't even know, the rim has a cover over it, and everything ain't going your way, slow it down. Slow it down. Make an extra pass. I don't know. Drive inside. Screen and roll. Try something different. I can't stand when people consistently try to take bad shots over and over and over when they're not falling. And Kim Mulkey addressed it last week. I think it was in that Texas press conference where she was saying that, in my eyes, a turnover and a missed shot or a poor shot from bad shot selection, that's just as bad. You're still losing the ball because of negligence. So very confusing situation. Rebound battle, absolutely crazy because of all those misses. LSU won it 54-30. Here's one thing that I would like LSU women's team to improve on. And I don't want to nitpick. It's a great win. They're a great team. They got a lot of talent, and I think they're going to go forward. However, turnovers. Need to clean up the turnovers. Everybody got a turnover except one player, Zakiya Johnson. Every single Lady Tiger, other than that, though, turned the ball over. Now, same thing with fouls. You only had 2 with 0 fouls, Divine and Zakiya as well. The turnover aspect is a little interesting because you've got a lot of ball handling guards, whether it be Jada, whether it be Flaugier, whether it be Malaysia off the bench. And I mean, quite frankly, I'm going to throw Michaela in that same breath, even though she's kind of a bounce between a 2 and a 3. I think with the way her style is and how she possesses the ball to create the shots, she's more of a ball dominant player as well. So just to say that there are a lot of names who are going to get the rock and could turn it over. But just collectively looking at the entire team, I don't think we should have, 19? It's a little high, if you will, especially, like I said, everyone got a damn turnover except Zakiya Johnson. Those are going to be things that I would like to see them clean up a little bit, especially when you are getting towards tournament play and you're really close. You got 5 games left this season. So the final stretch is here. If you're going to really push it into March, this is the time that you start it. Next up on the agenda, South Carolina at home on Saturday. We talked about this on Monday, I believe it was. Regardless, big game on the way for Full Wiley. I think she's got a huge opportunity to let South Carolina feel a little bit of I don't know what to say it. Just revenge, if you will. Chip on her shoulder. She's going to roll out, create. I think she can have a big game. She'll definitely be a bright spot in that matchup. ESPN gives LSU the edge, though. They do their matchup prediction where they try to say who has a higher win percentage. And as of right now, LSU's got a 54% chance to win this game. I would have it more towards a coin flip. I really wouldn't be surprised if South Carolina wins this one. I mean, we talked about it also in terms of them losing 17 damn games in a row versus a squad. It would be a huge narrative boost if you can beat South Carolina at home during your final week of regular season play. You roll into that conference tournament feeling nice. You're going to be one of the top SEC teams if you can get that done. Men's basketball, we're talking about March Madness for the women's. We will not be talking about March Madness for the men's team. They get their 9th loss of the year, down 83-71 to Georgia. They shot 22% from 3. And I just bagged on Auburn for the way that they shot from 3. LSU men's basketball not doing much better. Every single damn point it felt like came through McKinnon. He scored 26 points. McKinnon, 36% of the damn points that LSU scored total, which is insane. They can't create an offense at all. At all. It prohibits them from winning. I don't think I've said they don't have depth all season long. Obviously, they were scoring, 90-plus points per game in the beginning stretch against non-conference teams. They had a little bit of a run, if you will, but I just don't think they have enough bodies to keep that team competitive through the important stretches. When you are playing SEC teams during this thick conference stretch, or even if you run into the conference tournament, or even if, God forbid, you got in the March Madness tournament, which you won't, but even if you did, you're going to need bodies. And it's not even for the sake of injuries. It's just for the sake of keeping everybody's level of play high. You can't have McKinnon score every damn point for your team and expect him to be able to do that when the lights are on brightest. Not only will he get schemed out the game, not only could he have just a bad night shooting like the entire team did from three, but it just makes sense to have multiple options. It's basketball. You don't want to have things obvious out there in the open, able to be taken away from you, quite frankly. This team very, very far away from being a competitive tournament squad. You already know how I feel about this and what they have to do. I think you blow it up. I think you restart. I know that it's a tough situation, and, situations are everything. We talk about it all the time on this program. It's tough, though. You got to restart. You got to hit the reset button, because I think if there was a glimpse of hope and if there was any type of potential in this moving positive, forward, at least, like it getting better, I think we would have seen a flash already. I've seen no flashes. I'm sorry. I would, I'd pack it in. I'd call it in. I don't know who you got to call. Verge, the damn governor. I don't know who you got to call, but call somebody. Call somebody. Get this men's team back in order. All right, let's talk about our guy, Tyler Shough. He's the mascot of New Orleans at this point. He's beloved in the city now, more than I think Derek Carr ever was at this point, after one small season where, quite frankly, half of it, nobody wanted to hear about him. So it's not even like you had the entire fan support for the whole damn year. No, there was a good portion of the year where people didn't even want to hear his damn name. Now, he's the crown jewel in the city. A city that is desperate for anything athletic, just something. Go our way, something. And you've got it going your way right now with Tyler Shough. It's also crazy what happens when you soak up the energy in a city. And here's what I mean when I say that. I'll even use Lane Kiffin as an example. He was in his press conference talking about, I love the city and how you're bringing recruits in a restaurant and they know how to recruit. You don't have to prep the restaurant on what to say. They're recruiting the school, the state, the community. They're doing everything for you. Welcoming the kids, talking to them about the school, just everything across the board. Lane's obviously embraced Louisiana ever since his arrival. He even made a comment during his press conference just saying, like, he can't take no for an example. He keeps getting things done. He keeps pushing forward. He's going to find a way, kind of like the Louisiana man or resident in general. And it's just to say that this state, I'll give you some credit. This state, although sometimes it be a little picky, if you do something for them and show I'm loyal to you, I'm going to work hard for you, I'm going to work my ass off for the state, they're going to love you, bro. Whether it be Coach Orgeron, Coach Orgeron can get on a microphone on any channel on television and say, "Go Tigers," and everybody will lose their minds. He is a legend forever. Joe Burrow, if he comes to Baton Rouge, he will never pay for a meal again. Paul Skeens, Dylan Cruz, Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, you can go on and on and on and talk about all these legends that have been, donning this purple and gold. It's interesting to see almost a new way of life now. Like the Saints get this run again. Yeah, Drew Brees had it. Reggie Bush, Alvin Kamara, you had a lot of big names, but it's been, quite frankly, it's been a little bit since you had this special feeling in New Orleans, in the 504 for some football, quite frankly. Tulane gave it to you a little bit with a college football playoff run, but that ain't what they want. It's not what they want. The Saints are what they want. And I think Tyler Shough is what they want. He's a fan favorite, dog. He was walking out of the damn store with a bag. I don't know if it was a Rouse's bag or whatnot, but you got a fan recording him out of the car. Hey, Tyler. And Tyler's waving. How you doing? It's that. Small town community. She ain't get out and mob them, give me an autograph. She didn't heckle them. She didn't do anything. How you doing? What's up? He keeps walking. He goes on a damn parade, throws 40 footballs like Jawan Johnson's out there catching them, humming them footballs at people, dog. But think about the young Saints fan who just caught a pass from Tyler Shough at a parade. He's going to not only keep that ball for the rest of his life, that might be his favorite player forever. It's these type of moments when you are showing face in your community, in what they do, in their culture. You're one of them now. Like, okay, cool, I'm drafted to NOLA. Let me find out where I can go eat. Let me go in the city, show some love. Let me go to the damn local grocery stores and not be, he don't got to have security. He's not getting them delivered. He's walking around getting his own groceries with his bags. That type of stuff, I think, is how you get accepted by the community. And Derek Carr didn't do that, bro. And I'm not trying to, Derek Carr, you should have done way more. He didn't do anything for Super Bowl week when it was in NOLA during the media roundup. So obviously, it's a tough situation because he probably would have got murked with questions. And then you could see the writing on the wall with them not wanting to keep him for the future I don't know if I blame Derek Carr for not buying into the city, but I'm really proud of Tyler Shuck for doing it. I think he could be a household name in a few years. Now, I'm not about to sit here and say he's the next coming of Drew Brees. I don't think that, but I do think he is going to be successful and produce enough in a city where they haven't had production. Like all the Saints have wanted is a quarterback that's competent enough to be able to run their offense. Just come on. Just get us through the NFC South. There's not much competition. You got the Falcons who are in shambles, the Panthers who are questionable, obviously the Bucs. The Saints can steal this division right from under everybody's noses next year, and they can do it with this guy right here throwing footballs at the top of a damn float. Come on. Shout out Tyler Shuck, bro. Shout out Tyler Shuck. All right, switch gears. Cam Thomas, former LSU point guard, headed to the Bucs, man. Way by the net, signed with Giannis in the Milwaukee Bucks. Really young guard. He's only 24 years old. Probably damn near 10 years left in him in the NBA at this point, if you really look. And I think he's producing, which is confusing as to why he was cut. I mean, there could be a financial aspect. Nets could just be, they weren't able to get anything done with him at the trade deadline, and they don't want him on the salary cap anymore. But regardless, last 3 years for the Nets, he averaged 21 points per game. This year, matter of fact, he's had a 30 points 3 different times. Got a little shooter in Milwaukee next to Giannis now. I can't lie to you. I can see him coming off the bench a little bit, run the second unit, if you will. They got a couple of guards already. They got a decent enough roster. I don't think they have a huge roster. Giannis, Cam, Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis, Miles Turner, Cole Anthony. I mean, if you get one more free agent this summer, that's a decent enough squad to maybe contend for a title, especially when you thought Giannis wasn't returning, and then now you're back building around him. So it's a quick little 180. I'll give you a brief update on your active LSU alum in the NBA. You got Miles Reed, sharpshooter in Minnesota for the Timberwolves. You got our guy, Tyree Eason in Space City, Houston Rockets. Garrett Temple playing for the Raptors. Trendon Watford playing for the Sixers. And then obviously Cam Thomas, Milwaukee Buck. Got some NBA alums, man. Got some NBA alums. You're going to have to improve the state of the program to get more. But I don't want to beat a dead horse more than I have to. One more topic before I get out of here. North Dakota joined the FCS joining the FBS after 10 FCS titles. Wild news this weekend. So they're going to join the Mountain West Conference. Football only. No other sport will be joined. Yes, this is Carson Wentz on the picture, by the way. Everybody's probably wondering, who's this guy? He looks so damn familiar. Yes, it is Carson Wentz. It is Carson Wentz. They will be in a 2-year ban for bowl games and playoff games next 2 years because of them getting into the FBS. They will not be allowed anything. No Boston Baked Beans Bowl, no Shama Bowl, nothing. No Verdin Bowl. Here's an interesting thing that they are going to get for moving, though. People are wondering, what's the benefit? Well, there's the financial side of it, but in the Mountain West, you're not really getting much. It's the scholarships, because in the Summit League, which is where they were prior, they had a 63 FCS scholarship limit. Now they can boost it up to 105, 40 more players. That's huge from a depth standpoint. That's huge from building a program and keeping the continuity of it, which they've been able to do. If you look at it, they won 5 of the last 10 national championships at this level. So, I mean, they've been able to figure it out, in my opinion. I do think the scholarships are a huge part, because in today's day and age, not being able to offer as many scholarships prohibits you from being able to sign as many recruits. And now you really got to make tough decisions on positions. Now you can't load up at quarterback. Sometimes you're going to have to, cut some people or not sign as many bodies in one group. If you can have 2 or 3 guys in a room in one position and they can continuously work under each other, and whenever the top guy leaves, the next guy who was the backup walks up and is the starter. It's how you build a program that's actually able to succeed and it doesn't have constant turnaround and turmoil. And they're also in a good spot too, because it's going to be very rare that one of their players leaves to go to a bigger school. I'm not trying to say it will happen. It's just going to be rare. The contrary, I think, though, with a player who didn't really get an opportunity at a big school looking to go to them, I think that's going to be a benefit. I think they could be looked at a little more serious now, in my opinion. But obviously, we're going to have to see that play out. Now, in terms of their stadium and just the overall, effects that this will have financially for them, they're going to pay $12 million to join the league, extra $5 million to join the FBS. They got a nice little stadium, nice little crowd that packs it out. They play in a dome to about 13,000 people. It is North Dakota. That's why you got to play in a dome. That damn weather is insane. Now, I don't know if they renovate the dome. I don't know if they expand it to make a little more fans get in there. I don't know if there's requirements that they're going to have to catch up. But if they ain't had that damn dome, boy, they'd have A+ home field advantage. This shit gets like -20 in North Dakota. No thanks. Pick up the pads, guys. We gonna call this football game off. That's what I'd be doing if I was the head coach over there. So yeah, keep it in the dome. Northern football, keep it in there. It's been a successful program at their level. It'll be interesting to see if they can jump into the mix, if you will, the Mountain West. We'll be keeping an eye on it. But that's all we got for you today. I'm your guy, Jacob Verdin. This has been the Verdin Verdict. Hope y'all had a good one. Hit that thumbs up for us. We're going to be out of here back Wednesday at 9 a.m. Drop some comments on what you want us to talk about this week. I'll dive into them and I'll rank some of the best ones. We can do a little mailbag segment. All right. Appreciate y'all. Hit that thumbs up. We're out of here. This has been the Verdin Verdict.